Hello and welcome to Ganttis, a powerful framework that allows you to easily integrate interactive Gantt chart components to your outstanding macOS and iOS applications. Your customers will be presented with beautiful timeline diagrams that they can easily control with common gestures supported by the target platform, including but not limited to clicking and tapping, scrolling and panning, and classic and natural drag and drop operations. As you can see in our demo app here, you can set up displaying an array of items, such as tasks of a project, each task being presented as one bar per row, or a large and virtualized data source, loading visible items and dependencies on demand, based on the two-dimensional position of the scrollable viewport. The end user can zoom in and out, either through controls that you provide in your app, or by performing dragging or pinching gestures on the diagram's header. Items are presented using bars and other shapes, depending on their type being standard, milestone, or summary. Dependencies are figured as arrow lines between item bars. An items bar may optionally have a label, an attachment text such the assignment of a task, and further details displayed as a tooltip on macOS. You can also turn off these features, if needed. A bar can be moved horizontally for updating the item's start and finish times and preserve its duration, and resized at both ends, and moved vertically for updating the item's row value. Also, an item's completion rate can be updated by resizing its completion bar. Dependencies of multiple types can be created by performing simple drag and drop operations as well. From finish to start. From start to start. From finish to finish, and from start to finish. Items can be created and deleted using the contextual menus that appear upon secondary mouse button clicking in macOS apps, and upon long pressing actions in iOS apps. Similarly, dependencies can be deleted using their contextual menus. Again, you can also turn off each of these features as needed in the target app. You can define actions that are executed upon clicking or tapping items and dependencies, and elements can also be set up as selectable in the user interface. Custom object editors can be designed and displayed upon start editing actions, as needed in your app. Finally, create new and delete selected item actions can be customized as well. The visible time of the diagram can be configured through limit dates and as well through week and day definitions. You can then configure the component to highlight parts of the visible time as needed in the chart. Usually you would highlight non-working time, the timeouts of the item schedule. Speaking about items, you can control their working and non-working time by defining associated week and day intervals, and simple or recurring exceptions like vacations, holidays, or lunch breaks. You can also override the schedule for individual items if needed. The granularity for item updates may also be set up to continuous or specific interval periods, such as a number of days, hours, or minutes. A common scenario for classic project definitions is to set up update granularity to 15 minutes. The headers of the diagram can be fully configured, starting with defining their row count, each of their interval periods, and the format for each row. For example, you can set up 3 headers, one for months, one for weeks, and one for days. The month header could use the month year format. Weeks can be set to start on Monday and to display the days of month that they are spanning. And the day header can show day of week abbreviations. Or, you may increase hour length and show day and hour headers. And if you want to zoom out instead, you can decrease hour length and show larger periods like years and quarters. The built-in interval selectors and formatters are extremely powerful, but even so, you can customize them further. With just a few lines of code, assuming you have an algorithm to determine the dates, you can get header intervals between Easter and Christmas of any year. To just give you an idea, numeric counter values are also supported. They are extremely useful if you display a generic project or one isn't yet bound to specific dates in the calendar. You can configure header counters to include or exclude non-working time, to start at 1 or 0, and to support negative values as well, as needed. Showing numeric intervals is also very interesting, ain't it? Finally, note that if you want, you can even write some code to automatically change the entire headers collection, even with different row count, when zoom changes. And you can add separators in the chart area matching or not matching the headers. Or draw customized vertical lines bound to specific times or vertical bar highlighters on special intervals in the chart, as appropriate for your context. 3 built-in user interface themes are available with the framework. They are called Standard, Aqua, and Jewel. You can set up custom themes yourself too, such as this one fully defined in the demo app source code. Or you can start with a theme and update individual style settings, including but not limited to the bars fill and stow colors for different types of items, completion, text label, and dependency line colors, and rows, alternative rows, and header backgrounds. Dark mode is supported as well, even for custom themes and on iOS 2 if you need it. Appearance for individual items can be fully customized as well, through their own style dictionaries. Finally, exporting the diagram presented in the macOS viewport as a PNG image file is also very easy to set up. Of course, there is a lot more to find out about Ganttis. We encourage you to download the framework and run the demo apps yourself to see the components in action in the source code mapped to each of their features. Thank you for watching.